Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Zaffageek Weekly episode. And this week, we will be talking about the first game that stuck with you. Now, this could be anything. This is the game that stuck with you due to a multitude of reasons. Either the gameplay, the friends you made, whatever, right? So, there's like many games that I've played that stuck with me. To name a few, it is Nox, while I was waiting for Diablo 2. It still holds a special place in my heart. Titan Quest, because during Titan Quest, my playthrough of Titan Quest, I went through a bad breakup. And that game allowed me to get through it. And that's also like a very cool game just to... When I think about the game, I think about the ex, and she was brilliant. She still is. She's an amazing person. But I think when I think about the game, I don't think about the breakup as per se. I think about the good times we had, essentially. And then another game that comes to mind is Mass Effect 1. Just because of the pure epicness of the game. It was one of the first few games that actually, like, after that Shepard speech in the beginning, it's like, whoa, I'm doing something big, right? But the one game that stuck with me, right, is Ultima Online. It was the first MMORPG that I played. I played it on an unofficial server in South Africa due to connection issues, connection speeds, because at that time we had 56k modems and connecting to a UK server was just out of the question, I believe. And due to pricing, because at that time I was still in school and couldn't afford playing an online game like Ultima Online. And then this led to me actually meeting people that played this game that went to the same school as I did. So I made some friends. I remember the one blacksmith guy was older brother of a friend that I made, and I'm like, whoa, you're him, whoa. Anyway, that blacksmith was just north of Britannia, and he was in our school. He's the older brother of my friend, like one of my friends. But with all things, as with all things, it ended. Because it was sort of run by someone working at an ISP. He was using some of the computers at the ISP to run the server. I know. Some of the kind of illegal, I know. And as far as I know, the guy stopped working at the ISP and moved to another town, with the intention of creating a new server where he will be living, with the intention of creating a new server. And that's also where I found a little bit of my love for programming, because I was working on some things and trying to implement some things, and my intention was giving these implementations to this guy and then see what he thought about it. But me not having an extensive background knowledge in programming, never actually anything came from it. But eventually it fell flat, and the main thing is the memories still stuck with me. The memories of Ultima Online. And some of these memories include me running around naked in the world so that if I die, I don't lose any items. Running around with Banana Man wearing nothing but a cape because it's cool. It was cool at the time. Please keep in mind I was very young, okay? Some of these things. Figuring out magic in the game, right? Figuring out blacksmithing and melee combat. It was crazy figuring out magic. But now if I hear someone cast Vasarel Por or Vaskor Por or In Vas Flam, I'll be like, oh crap, I better run. Right? I better run. Injuk Sankt. I think that was a light spell, but I always freaked out with when someone started casting out, I'm like, oh crap, oh no, it's just light, or blessing or something. I can't even remember. I just remember running away from that particular spell or being wary. Then it was working with weight in game and optimizing mining and discovering new ores. When you discovered your first piece of obsidian ingot, it's like, oh, my mining is to that level that I can actually discover obsidian now. What was it? Obsidian? Was it obsidian? Or was it mithril? It was obsidian. I think it was obsidian, yeah. Owning a house in a player-run town just east. Better drink some more coffee to get my words out. I'm going to do that again. Owning a house in a player-run town just east of Britannia was amazing. When that town got attacked, we all went to defend it. It was amazing. And then my hometown in Ultima Online was Minok. It was just, I first started up the game and I'm like, where can I go? I want to be a blacksmith and a miner. And I'm like, oh, and you hover over the description of the town. It's like, Minok is a mining town. I'm like, going there. And when I logged in, there was faction just south of that town who ran the town. So it was like, oh crap, now I need to be part of that faction or look out for them. And it was quite cool. For about a month I mined illegally in their area. Went on when everybody was asleep or out doing stuff. Like I called in a couple of days sick just to play Ultima Online. Now kids, don't do that. But because I knew most of the people were still at school or busy working, so during that time, I went and mined, okay? And then, the intro song. I will link it in the description below. But that intro song, when you when you get to the login screen of Ultima Online, it's the Stones theme song, I believe it's called. It's amazing. Brings back so many feels. So, what I want to ask you for this video, what was the first game that actually stuck with you, that you will randomly go back to it, play it, and go, wow. You'll play it for 10 minutes like, okay, I've got my fix again, and then continue on with your life. Because I'm currently doing that with you. I'm playing it on an unofficial server, and it's just like, log in, do a couple of things, go, okay, cool, I'm done for the month, It's the type of game that you look back on fondly. And it might be because of a multitude of reasons, because of the story, the music, the graphics, whatever, the fighting system, whatever, that you look back on fondly. Leave it in the comments below and share your experience with me, with us, with the community here, with the Zaffageek community. And if you have any ideas of what I can talk about in the future, please also leave it in the comments below. I've got a sort of a roadmap set up for this series, but if there's a topic that I'm like, oh yeah, I want to talk about that, leave it in the comments below. And again, the first game that stuck with you. That is the big one. The first game that stuck with you. Thank you for watching, and until next time, you should have a geeky good one.